200. What's up? Okay, so today is Sunday, the 10th of November, 2019, and we are obviously getting to the very end of the course, and so I'll give you some heads up. Your next important deadline is your interview paper. You could have done this already, but if not, you have Thanksgiving coming up, and there's a great opportunity to interview your grandmother, grandfather, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, something like that, and it's a really cool opportunity. I spoke with one of your classmates. Tyler came by the other day, and I was just telling him, use your iPhone or your Samsung Droid or whatever it is. Use it and record your interview you do, because it's an amazing opportunity to kind of archive all of your family culture. I mean, I know I was there. Believe me, when I used to go see my grandparents, I would say, "Oh, hi, hey, Grandma, how you doing? Great." At Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm in school. School's cool. Everything's going good. Okay, okay, bye. And I never really got a chance to know them. You'll see when you interview your grandparents, they're going to come forth with stories about your family history that are just going to blow your mind. And um, and it's just such amazing opportunity to archive it, so that someday, when you meet the right person, your mate, okay, you can show them, hey, take a look at this. If you ever elect to have children, your children will be able to look at your family culture, the history, the folklore, the skeletons in the closet, everything that's out there will be there in video form, and it's really cool. I did this actually with my mom, and God bless her soul. She passed away a couple of years ago, and when she passed away, she took many facts and many family secrets with her. So I'm glad I recorded as much as I could, and it's a cool opportunity for you to do this as well. All right. So in terms of the paper, okay, just follow the directions, guys. It's pretty straightforward. So you click right here, okay, um, and then you scroll down, okay. Whoa. And sorry about the black thing, okay, scroll down, there it is right there, okay, and follow the direction. These are kind of an outline of what you're supposed to do. Here's some example questions. You ask the question to your grandparent, okay. You then you know because you have done the recording, you have it all transcribed. You just write down what they said, okay, however you get their information down, and then you do an analysis of that, okay. So you have your newfound knowledge from taking this course, but when you're doing the analysis, you have to back it up with strong professional supportive information in the form of articles, okay. And so you will go to the internet and find these articles to support your perception of what your grandparent had to say. And after you make your analysis, then you put bracketed in parentheses, okay, Walsh et al. 2019, whatever it is, okay. But you're going to be getting your outside information from everything else but this course, all right? All right, you need to have 10 references when you do this, all right? It's a great opportunity. You're gonna love it, okay? So please enjoy it while you're doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back up here, get into the nuts and bolts now of the weekly assignment, okay? And again, sorry for that little black screen that just happened. And so as you can tell, we're at the very end of this course, okay? We kind of set you up here for understanding kind of the social implications as related to economics, okay? Big picture societies, we looked at it globally, we looked at whether or not um, European nations versus South American nations, versus us, how we're set up, pension systems versus, you're on your own saving, okay? And then we talked about a little bit here in terms of the more of the U.S. analysis, the economic preparation, what it is you have to kind of rely upon, and I think you guys, I know it's like, thanks, Boomer, right on, Boomer, but the reality is, we're leaving you with this legacy of unaffordable housing, okay? And I apologize for that, but it is what it is, and We bought our house in 1998 down here in Laguna Niguel. We paid $430,000 for it. It's worth 1.5, 1.6 million. I just don't see you guys being able to afford the housing anymore. So we're pricing you guys out of the market. And that's a big part of the economic preparation, all right? You don't have much control over that. What you do have control over is what we're going to be talking about today, and that's doing your own retirement planning. Okay, now I'm going to throw this out there, guys. A lot of you are going to be very, very successful in what you specialize in. Maybe you can be a professional athlete. Maybe you'll be a professional football player, basketball player, and you make millions and millions of dollars. You don't need to have somebody else managing your money, okay? If you like to do video games, if you like to play with Instagram, okay, Snapchat, whatever it is that you like to play with, all the different apps on your phone, then you should be able to go ahead and open up a Fidelity account, a Vanguard account. Those are two different types of investment accounts. It's like playing a video game. It's amazing. Okay, you can go in there and select your kind of groups of investments. Bonds, mutual funds, which are big packets of stocks. You can assign your risk. Okay, you can buy and sell. You can do everything, and you don't need to have a money manager. Okay, investment planner, middleman. Okay, if why open yourself up for fraud? If somebody's going to lose your money, why don't you lose your money on your own? Don't let somebody else screw you out of your funds. Okay, so this is something that I really highly encourage you to think about. I'm a neuroscientist, and I didn't know anything about investing, but I figured it out. Okay, all right, so that's what this is all about. Okay, so as we go through this, okay, we're going to talk, about where society is a little bit. Okay, and this isn't part of your discussion. We'll go back to this. Okay, just kind of shockers. When we look at people between 50 and 61 years of age, retirement accounts, not your housing, but it's money you've put into an investment fund. Okay, like a Fidelity account. Okay. So we see that the median is $17,000. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, how about the age group right before? It's coming down the pike. You're retiring. The median is $8,000. That's 1 month worth of spending. Okay, so and we have a lot of people out there. 21%, and there's one report of Americans that have absolutely nothing. Okay, they're just living hand to mouth. Okay, alrighty. Some people feel like Social Security benefits going to be adequate. Some people, that run their own businesses don't even really hardly even pay into Social Security. Okay, so anyways, if we look at it, the average Social Security benefit in 2019 was almost $1,500 a month. Okay, $17,000 a year. How does that fare in terms of your ability to live in New York City, Washington D.C., Miami, LA? All right. It's really not much, okay? That's the big issue. So you don't want to be in that position, okay? All right. Especially when you look at things like an out-of-pocket healthcare expense can be 10 grand a year. We talked about that last time, okay? The chronic diseases of aging, they come and they it's not like you have an infection, you take an antibiotic and it goes away, okay? These expenses get worse and worse as each year goes on. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's. All right. So you just gotta, prepare accordingly. Okay. All righty. Social Security is not going to be enough. Okay. So we're going to teach you about how to invest. Okay. So people like me, I live in a big company. I have a 401k. It's a tax deferred account. I'm putting money in it now. I'm deferring when I pay taxes when I tap into it. So when I'm 72, I'll go back to this account that we've been putting money into it. And for every dollar that I take out, then I pay tax on that dollar. The expectation is when I'm older, okay, my rate of spending is going to be less. And so that would be my taxable income then. So I'll be in a lower tax bracket. So it's a win, okay? And what's cool about it, we take this money out of my paycheck, all right now, when I'm in a really high tax bracket, and it goes into those accounts and it doesn't get taxed. So that's where it's tax defer. You defer it to sometime somewhere down the line. People that have government jobs can do what's called a 403B. Okay, This is where, again, you can take your money and put it into a tax deferred account. Okay. We'll talk about individual retirement account, IRAs. Okay. All right. This is, again, the same thing. We put the money away. Okay. You're not taxed on it. Okay. And you're just taxed on it when you spend it. There are major limitations in terms of how much you can do on your own here. And there's a lot more opportunity investing when you have a 401k. So the government is really pushing for that. Okay. Right now, when you're not making any money at all, you can do what's called a Roth Ira. Okay. All righty. And that's where you pay taxes now on that money because your taxable income sucks. If you're making 30 grand a year and you put $500 into a Roth IRA, it's hardly taxed at all. And then, later on down the line, when you tap into that and it's worth 15, 20 grand, you don't pay any taxes on it because you already did it when you put it in when you were young in a really low tax bracket. All right. All right. So that's what that's all about. Okay. Please go look at Vanguard or go look at Fidelity right now. Right now. Okay. Go play with what they have. Open your own account and get in the game. I'm just telling you right now, it's an awesome thing for you to do. Okay, alrighty, so we're looking at Social Security benefits. Okay, so I put these things out here. This is the link to the Social Security Administration, and then I copied, in case you have trouble getting the link, an actual document where it looks at the key features. Okay, we go over it right here. Okay, so maximum benefit is $28.61 a month. Okay. Remember, up earlier in the document, I was talking about the average, which is far less. Okay, still the max is $28.61. I can't live on $28.61 a month right now. Okay, and this is at the official retirement age of 66.77 years of age. Okay, and your benefits calculated by how many years you work. Okay, they call it the working quarters. Okay, and so it all comes into the calculation. All right. Alrighty, at this monthly amount, that means I would be making $34,000 in chump change at 66.7 years of age. All right. So through this table, you'll see that the Social Security Administration, okay, they really want you to delay when you're going to do this. Okay, so why not keep working just a few more years until you're 70 years of age? All right. And by doing that, okay, instead of having a maximum benefit of 34,332 that you get when you retire at 66.7, if I retire at age 70, I will now make this much every year. So I make 10 grand more a year for the rest of my life. And you know what? As you know, there's a good chance that we're all going to live to our 90, and having 10 grand more a year versus this is huge. And why not work? What else you can do with your life, man? Just figure out a job where it's not so bad. That's what's key. Just keep working. All righty. Also, okay, within this planner right here, you'll find out, okay, that if you do early retirement, then you get punished by the Social Security Administration. All right. Let's say I've had it. I want to work till I'm 62, and then I'm going to retire. Okay. And so what happens is it will reduce your benefit by 30% if you retire at 62. And they have this calculation. It's all written in here for my econ majors. Okay, because you're going to have to do this kind of stuff from our retirement planners. It explains it all right here. It's reduced 0.5% for each month earlier than this 66.7. Okay, and this is up to 36 months. Okay, all righty. So yeah, so there's a huge disincentive to retire early because you're going to make you're going to make 30% less of this. Okay, and you can do the math on that. All right, so I can just kind of show you right here. This is the website by the Social Security Administration. Again, they explain everything right here. Okay, and here's the table. Okay, for the increase, you see that's going to happen. They actually bumped it right here this year. It's 32% instead of 30. So I'm going to go change that. Every year they change everything. Okay, all righty. So which is awesome. So that's for you guys to look at. Okay. Alrighty, next. Okay, so please talk to your parents about that. Talk to your grandparents about that. What are they thinking? All right. The next thing is now you're going to become financial planners. Okay. Alrighty. And down below, there's a really cool. I know Motley Fool's not the most not the most eloquent website, but it really kind of the article really uh, spells out what you should be thinking about. Okay. All right. I highlight this in green because green is money, my friends. Okay. Alrighty, so as we go through this, you need to understand the maximum amounts investing. I created a table down below for your 401k, for your IRA, for your Roth IRA. Okay, alrighty. So and so there's limitations on everything. Okay, so if I have a 401k and it's not matched, okay, it's just my corporation, USC, for example, allows me to put this money into a corporate run investment. Okay, ours is Fidelity through USC. All right. So in 2018, the maximum I could contribute was $18,500 a year. All right, if I was under age 50. Now, if I'm over 50, the government says, come on, guys, we want you to catch up. So we're going to give you a little bit more incentive. So they have this catch up $6,000 a year bump. Okay, all righty, if it's a 401k. All right, and so then I can put in this much a year, 24,500. Okay, now if I have a matching employer fund, awesome, which I do, USC does match my funds, all right, then suddenly it's bumped up to 55 grand a year I can put away. I'm going to do it, okay, all right, because that's just money. They're matching it, so I might as well put in my maximum and let USC match it. And if I'm over 50, again, that catch-up bump is 61 grand a year, which I'm going to do as well, all right? Okay, so this is the whole concept of investing, and everything, it compounds. Okay, so you guys, all right. So I talked to Tyler. I'll talk to all of you. Okay, Adam. Okay, you're in GERO 310. You've got to be listening to this. Okay, Raylyn. This year I want you to take $500 and I want you to put it and invest it. Okay, you don't have a 401k, so do it in an IRA. Okay. Do it in your Roth IRA. In fact, so you're right here. All right. All right. So you invest $500, okay, at age 20. All right. And at age 65, that $500 is now in today's current market earning 6 to 8% on your money. It's going to be worth $10,000, $15,000. That's awesome. All right. So these type of define contributions. I'm going to define how much I'm going to contribute to my retirement. It's my choice. That's the most common form of retirement right now. Okay. There's also pension plans. Okay. This is called a defined pension plan, and this is where the employer will give you some prorated percentage of your last, say, 3 or 5 years of salary. Okay. This is characteristic of government workers. All right. Firefighters, police officers, members of Congress, city workers, public school teachers, okay? You have a pension, all right? Sometimes, like with public school teachers, you're paying into it yourself. Oftentimes, for other public employees, we pay it through our tax dollars, okay? This has become this huge societal burden because what's happening, I'm a firefighter, okay? I work till I'm age 55, and they should because their jobs are insane. Same with police officers, you work till you're age 55, okay? You decide to retire, and then you're going to live another 40 years, okay? And we got to fund that salary at 100 grand a year, 150 grand a year, 200 grand a year. So this is a big deal, okay? And who funds it? You do through your tax dollars, okay? All righty. Like I said, you can also take your own money if you work in these government positions and invest what's called a 403B plan. Okay. All righty. So you can go ahead and read through this article. It's really cool. It explains everything that I was just talking about. I created a quick cheat sheet. These links right here can be found when you click into this PowerPoint that this image was taken from, and you can use these resources to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I did is I just kind of made a quick table. Okay, 401k here, an IRA, and a Roth IRA. This is you guys. Okay, all right. the first thing that pops out when you have a employee insured and employee incentivized investment, like a 401k, you can put a lot more in annually. All right. Under 50, I can put 18,500. Over 50, 24,500. If I'm just taking my own money, okay, and setting up my own Fidelity account, then I have an annual limit of 5,500. That's it that I can put in. That's tax deferred, means I'll pay taxes later when I do it. Okay, or 6,500 if I'm over 50. Okay, all righty. These are tax deferred as well. All right, it disappears from my taxable income. I don't have to report it to the IRS, and then when I spend the money, that's when I pay taxes on it. Okay, with a Roth IRA, something like that I encourage young people to do. All right, so you have a similar limit. Okay, so the difference with this is you're going to be taxed, as it indicates right here, at the time you invest. Okay, so this year, okay, if Tiana, okay, decides that she's going to, sorry about the black screen there. Tiana decides that she's going to invest, okay, $1,000, but she's, making, $32,000 a year. She's at the lowest of the tax bracket, maybe 10%. So hardly any money gets taken out. So she has to pay the taxes today. But remember, when she goes back and taps into that money much later, it's going to be tax. You've already paid your taxes on it, so you don't pay taxes on it when you take it out. All right, cool. There's another investment strategy called annuities. Annuities are problematic. Okay, they are pushed and marketed by money managers, okay, investment counselors, because they upfront make a ton of fees off it, and then annually there's a ton of fees put upon it that you pay. It's your money that pays them for this. Okay, it's actually like an insurance policy. Okay, and they take all your money, and then they guarantee they'll dole out like a pension a certain amount of money every month until the day you die. Okay, that's all fine and good, but I'd rather be investing my money into my own investments and having control over it. Okay, some of these also will take your money, and then when you die, they use it, and so you cannot pass it along to your beneficiaries, which would really suck. Okay, so you just got to be very, very careful with these annuities. Some people, it's a good strategy, but others not. Okay. All right. So this is an amazing story. So it's a PDF file. It happens all the time. Even I got busy, and this money manager had my mom, who was 90 years of age, not in mutual funds. Okay. And mutual funds are large bundles of stock. So thousands and thousands of stocks under a category. And so, if the stock market's going up and down a little bit, up and down, you don't get hit so badly by it, okay? Or so the shifts are not significant. But if you have all your money in one individual stock and that company goes belly up, your money's gone, okay? And so, and the reason that money managers like to have individual stocks is that they will sell your stock and buy new ones. And every time there's buying and selling of individual stocks, there's a transaction fee. That's how they make their money. Okay, very risky, especially based on age. When you're a 9-year-old, you should not have 90% of your money invested in individual stocks. That's a losing proposition. Okay, and I went in and found out about it, and we remedied it. This is an example of what happened right here, where again an investment counselor, money manager, was taking care of this woman's mom's assets and stole her blind. Okay, all righty. Okay, now with respect to the discussion, okay, we want you to kind of go think about all the things that I've just talked about. Okay, again, you look right here, and we're looking. It's an incredible article that you can access down here, either as the URL or a PDF file right here. And it just looks at per age group how much money people have invested in. Look at this older age group. It's mind-blowing that the middle of our country, the median, if you line up all the people, you look right in the middle, 17 grand at age 60. Are you kidding me? Okay. So what are you going to do to remedy this? How are you going to fix this, guys? That's what we're asking you to talk about right here. All righty. All right. So that's it for right now. I'm going to shut off, okay, and say good luck to all of you. Take care. Fight on.